guys, I know it's been a while. Well, for me, for a minute, I was making videos every day. And then you get this mad orders in, and you get sidetracked and stuff. So I got my fans on. That's why I got my microphone thingamajiggadale plugged in, so I can multitask, which you know I do. So, you know, I think most of you who follow my channel know I was raised very strict. A lot of us were from my generation and my sister's generation. And I'm not saying that it's always necessarily a good thing to be so strict on children, but I'm telling you that would be a lot better off than how they are now. Y'all, a lot of y'all young ones are just ruined. As Granny would say, y'all just runt. You're runt. Yes, you are. And you need some training. Yes, you do. I know you think you're grown and you know it all and you got it going on, but you still don't pay all your own rent and bills and insurance and insurance and insurance and insurance and insurance and insurance and buy your own clothes and your own $500 sneakers and, important stuff like that. Okay, we've got some 28, we've got some 22. I think I'm good to start. I knew, even as a kid, I knew at some point I was going to be older. I mean, I don't think I was one of those kids that ever thought that my mother was always the age she was when I was growing up. I mean, I saw my granny get older and change. And, yesterday you don't have a mole over there. And today you have a mole. And, yesterday you didn't have that spot or that lump or that bump or, that ailment and, things like that. But then my granny talked to us a lot. My granny was very patient. Darn you, Virgos. And no, I'm in great appreciation. Just so you know, I'm just joking. Cause honey, I love my granny. We couldn't call her granny. We called her Nana. But anyway, you know what I mean. So, she taught us very well. She taught us with the, like Felicia Rashad says, she taught us how to touch. She didn't teach us don't touch, I guess I could say it that way, honestly and truly. And I just remember just really loving her. And she's like, you're not always going to be this person. And honey, now I see what she's talking about. I wake up and I had aches in parts of my bodies I didn't even know had, lymph nodes and muscles and stuff. So yeah, now I'm remembering all those things she said. And now I'm remembering why she said, her and my mother, Capricorn, were like this, stop, don't play that music too loud. It's, getting late and those people work next door and you should be respectful of your neighbors. You should be respectful of people that are around you in your personal space. They might not want to hear Tupac. I love me some Tupac. And, you should take into consideration that you shouldn't park in front of that, old lady's driveway because, she has to use crutches to get into her car or whatever. And she has to drive cautiously to get out of her driveway. She might not see your car as close to her car as it is. So just don't park and don't just to be considerate. And that's the thing with this new generations. Most of you just really aren't fucking considerate whatsoever. Let me see what I'm going to be rapping here today. I hope the fans aren't on too loud, but I guess now it's too late because I'm already cool because it was hot here. Dang it, I gotta look. So, you're going to be, 56 someday, and you just might have an ache or a pain or a something, you know, and you're going to be like, gee whiz, I just wish I could call out for some help to get to the store, or, my car is broken down. Could somebody just bring me, I'm really craving a watermelon icy. If somebody could just, oh, that would just make me so happy right now. Little things, little stupid things. Um, what do I want to admit to that what do I want every once a month. Okay, wait, let me check myself, make sure I'm not lying. Today's the 14th, 15th, something around there. Yeah, okay, I'm good. So maybe once a month, sometimes twice a month, I'll allow myself to have a hamburger if I've done my chores and, paid all my bills, dotted every I, crossed every T. I'll allow myself to have a hamburger. So I wanted Foster Freeze really bad. Just their French fries. That's all I wanted, just their French fries. Um, and I just thought, oh man, I would just kill to have some Foster Freeze French fries right now. And oh my gosh, I had to beg Marcy, please, 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 don't you want an ice cream or something? They're known for their ice cream cones, and they dunk them in the chocolate. And finally I begged Marcy, and she went and got French fries, and you're just like, oh, this is the best French fry in the whole world. But that's not even an elderly thing. But I'm just saying, as an elder person, you want somebody just to do silly things like that for you. Now, other people that are probably have the same conditions I just do, just to in a varying degree. That's Australian crazy lace agate that I'll be wrapping today. That you can't see too good, so you got to go look at the picture on Instagram that I posted. There's a halfway decent shot. And I promptly drop it on the floor. Uh, we just often forget. We're all going to be old someday. Nobody lives forever. And even though you might live to be 100 and something, you still going to have aches and pains. I mean, Cher and Tina Turner have aches and pains. They ain't no different just because they have a lot of money or because they do whatever they do well. I mean, I do what I do really well, even though my hand hurts sometimes. And that's nothing to be proud of. But you know what? I just keep putting I got to find it so I can show it to you, because I absolutely love this. Now that I got it, I didn't want it at first because, sometimes we're still vain. Yes, we are. And I know you are too, because we're all human. And we all just have that thing in us that we don't want somebody knowing necessarily that secret or this secret or where is it? Or whatever secret, We don't want anybody to know that we're incontinent. I'll let you and everybody know I'm a squirter. Don't make me laugh too hard. I might spritz. It's just the truth. Nothing to be proud of, but it is the truth. Okay, where's my hand thing now? See, now just because I'm looking for it, I can't find it. And it would be really nice if a lot more of you young ones would just slow down a little bit, Hey, Mrs. Brown, the lady on the corner, I'm going to the liquor store. Do you want something? Oh, no, baby, it's okay. But you see Mrs. Brown get that chocolate milk every time she goes to the liquor store. You could pick her up a little yoo-hoo, ha-hoo, yoo-hoo, yo-hoo, whatever that chocolate milk stuff is called. You know what I mean. You can get Mr. Brown a Pepsi or whatever, If they're diabetic, you can get something sugar-free for them. I mean, lots of drugstores sell sugar-free stuff nowadays. No, it's just a precaution because I don't want to get anything that is not in my highest good. So it's just a precaution. But now I want to get one for this hand because this feels really good. When I take it off, it feels really good. And like my mama told me, it is an honor to be an elder. It is my job to remind you, mothers who don't discipline your children, And I'm not talking about a timeout either. I'm talking about, go sit in the bathroom where there's no toys, there's no computers, there's no cell phones, there's water in there. I'll bring you a peanut butter jelly sandwich, okay? Yeah, that. Not no timeout where you just go put your nose on the wall. Oh, you never heard of that either, huh? Yeah. A lot of my sister used to do that. Go put your nose on the wall. Yeah, there's no TVs, computer games and stuff there either. That was so funny. Sorry. Memory just popped in my head. Um, and I'm not saying everybody's a bad parent. Yet I'm saying a whole bunch of you are. You don't even look to see where your children are, and they're 20 steps behind you, waiting, looking at the child molester who's staring at them, knowing it's only going to take 30 seconds to steal your child, but you're 50 feet ahead at the stoplight already, not checking on your baby behind you, and you wonder what happens to them. Anyway, so we all could learn to be a little bit more giving to each other. And it really had me thinking about elders, because I see a lot of people older than me sitting at bus stops. It was 102 last week. What the hell are they doing sitting at a damn bus stop? Know your neighbors. What are we all so frightened for? If you know your neighbors, you'll know the predators that come into your neighborhood, right? So, keep an eye on Mrs. Johnson, and, take her over a bottle of cold water. If she don't like it, just leave it on her porch. She could water her plants with it if she wants to. I mean, if she don't trust you, something. But I'm just saying, if you have no elders, we have no stories. If we have no stories, you have no manners. If you have no manners, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with your ass. You're gonna say, oh, that's this little smart kid, Bobby, and he's up to no good. He got Suzanne pregnant and left her, and whatever. You see, old stories are coming back in my head, you know. So it's not that hard to be kind. I'm not saying give your last $50 away or something crazy like that. I'm just saying it's not that hard to be kind, especially to senior citizens. They deserve it. They fought wars. They helped the men come back from the wars. You know, they done things that would make you cry. And that's why a lot of people have ancestor, altars or some type of thing to be thankful for the elders, ancestors, whatever you want to call them. So just remember, without them, you really wouldn't be human, that is. You know what I'm trying to say. So just remember, be kind, because, one day, I mean, think about it. Now, a lot of you men and women never like to show nobody that you hurt or you don't feel good, or. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And, that's all well and good. But you have to remember, we all hurt at some point. Even when I was younger, I had cramps like, cramps was going out of style. It felt like I was having a baby every month. Every single month for 10 days, 15 days. Yeah, And if we don't teach boys that a lot of girls aren't lying about that, they're going to think all women are lying about that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and for women too, a lot of girls think, oh, guys don't have no periods, they don't have no boobs, they never have any pain. Boys and men have pain too. They just don't talk about it. Like women don't talk about, pretty soon your boob's gonna sag, keep them in a bra. That's something my mother always told me, especially if you're gonna have kids one day and you're gonna need to breastfeed. You want them puppies up high, not down here where mine are. They're really pointing south there. Mine should be pointing south. They've been around for a while, So we all gotta just remember to be kind. Say hello. Look up and say hi. That's it. And you're gonna make an old person's day. I promise you. I promise you, you are. Because I'm getting older and I appreciate that. I love it when a young one looks up to me and just smile. You don't even have to say hi, just smile. Get off of there. Come on. Jesus. I don't know how I wrap this. Tasha, you are just there. And you know, at some point that senior citizen is going to trust you. And then you could just take a minute out of your so busy schedule. I hate it when people say that. I'm so busy. No, just by you saying that tells me you're unorganized. That's all that tells me about you. You have the same 24 hours I do. I don't have children that I take care of in this house. I have, you know, many other responsibilities you do. And yet we can take time to just listen for a minute. I'm not saying take, 15,000 hours out of your day. I'm saying, where's my other glasses? To just, once in a while, just be patient. You young folks are so impatient nowadays. You know? What would it really hurt you just to say, hi, Mrs. Brown? You look nice today. Didn't hurt a thing, did it? Didn't hurt a thing. You know? Can I get you, some water? I'm going to the liquor store. You know? You never know. You just never know. So, take a moment. Just a moment. Not 10 hours. Not 2 days. Not 3 minutes. Just 30 seconds. Hi, Mrs. Brown. Can I get you something? Are you okay? You're looking really nice today. You tearing that dress up, Mrs. Brown. I see you looking good. Something. And then you know what's going to happen? I could promise you, I can almost guarantee you what's going to happen. They're instantly, Mrs. Brown, Mr. Brown, they're instantly going to revert back to their younger days of whatever age you might be, or whoever the message of the bearer, age. And they're going to smile. And really, isn't that what life's all about? Just giving somebody a smile. But really, what is it going to kill you just to give somebody a damn smile? It's not that hard. They're not taking anything from you. And you're not taking anything from them. You're just letting somebody have a feel-good moment, you know? And don't we all really just want a feel-good moment? Dang. Be patient with each other. Even, the bosses that you're gonna have, you need to be patient with them because they're older and stupid. They forgot what it was like to be a child. Thank God I never know that feeling, being a baby Aries. I will never know what it's like to feel old. That's just not in my spirit. It's not in my body either. I know my body's big, but I am forever 25. Yes, 180, looking good. I had ankles back then. I had ankles back then, you know? So it's really not that hard, you know? It really isn't. We grow up. Say, oh, well, I'm just so busy. I don't have time to take Mrs. Brown's trash out. Well, you took yours out. You go in the same direction to the same curb. Be polite. The hell are you thinking? You just might need Mrs. Brown one day. Your mom or dad's not home. You're going to need a place to sit for a minute until mom or dad or whatever, somebody gets home without going to Bobby's house or your friend's house, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Be polite. Be patient. Be kind. It doesn't cost anything. But I'll tell you this about that. And this is not the reason to do anything, to get something from someone. That's never a reason to do anything. Yeah, I had that lesson. Okay, sidebar. So I used to hate it when my mom never said thank you, right? I would give her something and she wouldn't be the type to say thank you, at least not right away. She's a Capricorn. It took her a minute to think about everything before she spoke, which is a good attribute for the most part. And I just said, I hate giving you stuff because you never said thank you. Anyway, so when I grew up, And I started studying, Taoism and other branches of religion. And so one monk said, "Did you give the gift in order to hear a thank you?" No. Then it shouldn't matter. You just give. You don't give to get something in return. And I'm like, oh, duh. Okay. And then after that, I no longer sit around waiting for a thank you. And I told my mom that, and she says, "Oh, I didn't notice I ever did that. Thank you for telling me. I'll be more aware because other people aren't my wonderful daughter." And I said, "Well, I did choose the best mother in the whole world this lifetime." And she's, "Oh, that's so nice." And she gets all giddy and stuff. Anyway, so, a lot of times, like, when we wake up one morning and you imagine, if you will, you just lay in bed and you move your toes. Okay, they're moving. And then you move your foot and you go, ow. And you think, well, I could have imagined that. So you do again, ow. And you move the other one, ow. Okay, so we're just going to keep laying here. Okay, so you lift your leg. Can you lift your leg? Can't lift that leg. Can you lift the other leg? You can lift that one a little bit. The other one, it feels like the bone is going to crack and you don't want to lift it. So since you can't lift it this way, you try and do it that way and it still hurts. Or even, not even if you just breathe in and out and you go, ow, and your bone might hurt, your rib might hurt, or your backbone might hurt. Your butt hurts sometimes when you breathe. Sometimes. I'm just telling you, getting older is a good thing. And no, it's not true for everybody. You don't have to be this or have to be that in order to age gracefully. Aging gracefully is just loving yourself, you know. I'm just telling you this to be more aware of how some people are. Now, don't get it twisted. I know a lot of people that are, you know, well, for my day, he was called Jack LaLanne, the workout guy in the 60s, and he lived to be like 99 or something. I don't know. Anyway, some people are still like that, but they still have aches and pains every now and then. Nothing is ever the same. So even though, they're a world-class athlete and the heptathlon person and they do all these things, they still have aches and pains. They still get headaches. Their butt still hurts from time to time. And, a guy's, prostate hurts every now and then. And a girl's, vagina hurts every now and then just because just because the body is a miraculous machine. And no matter how well you take care of it, you can be a freaking weightlifter, bodybuilder person that's vegan. I don't know why so many people put energy into that. It's, my body is my body. It's no worse or different than yours if I do eat meat. I know a lot of vegans that have died of cancer or of arthritis or of this or of that. So that's not a cure-all. And I'm not putting it down. I'm saying you got to find what's good for you, boo-boo. And you just have to learn, young ones, that sometimes, when people get older and they have fallen once, they go slow so they don't fall down again, because it's a bitch getting up. It really is, especially us big girls. It was no fun getting up off of that floor when I fell off the ground, rather. I was outside. And I'm not one that's easily embarrassed because I'm looking around for the biggest guy that could pick my ass up, even though I wouldn't want to put them under that much pressure and strain. Even when I was diabetic and fell in the hospital, I don't know how those guys lifted me so easily, because I got to tell you, looking up seems really far up. Looking up seemed further than looking down. You look down at the ground, and a lot of us old folks say, well, I can imagine being on the floor, but I'm not getting on the floor because it's challenging getting back up. So, young ones, when you see Mrs. Brown or Mr. Brown, just know Age is just a number. And yet, no matter how well we take care of ourselves, there's still aches and pains and some memory losses. And that's why we look like we're retarded sometimes, because we're trying so hard to remember something. It looks like we're just trying to take a good shit. And you're just looking with that stupid look on your face because we're just trying to remember if we were going to the grocery store, or if we just came home from the grocery store. Or we were looking for a pencil and we picked up a pen, but we really needed a pencil to, excuse me, to fill out, the thing for our bills or whatever. Don't assume like everybody's as well off as your family or mother or grandmother or whoever. We're all different. Treat each other with respect all the time, no matter who or what we are, and then there won't be any humane issues. If you're just kind to everybody, everybody will treat you kindly. And then on the opposite side, old people, when young people say hello, you don't have to grab your purse and run. Please, you're going to fall and break a hip. So we all really got to remember just to be better to each other. And then even that, I'm sure Mrs. Brown needs her dog, watered, especially on these hot days. You see Mrs. Brown sitting out at the bus stop, or Mr. Brown sitting at the bus stop. They got a little pooch at home. It wouldn't hurt you to put out a bowl of water with, some ice cubes in it. It probably wouldn't hurt you to set out a glass of water for Mr. or Mrs. Brown with an ice cube in it, So you're going to grow to appreciate it because you're going to get old at some point too. That's why your parents and grandparents tell you, enjoy your youth. That's why they say that. Because, and then you also hear people say, if I were 21 again, but with the knowledge that I have now, you see. And of course it's absolutely impossible, but that's why I say I always feel 25, because at 25, well, a whole bunch of things happen. That's for another video. But at 25, I was enjoying life pretty much the most, I had some lessons under my belt, and I really started remembering the lessons, my grandmothers gave me and my mother gave me. And at that moment, it was like, okay, all right. Now that's why that's why Mama would come home every day from work. She'd sit on the toilet and she'd pinch her brow and she'd say, people, people, people. Now I know why she said that. I was 25 then. But now I further know why she says that. Because I got to tell you, you think everybody has as good growing up years as you. Not true. A lot of people are fucking stupid. Because they know better, but they choose not to do better. And that's okay. They don't have to. And you don't have to like them for not doing better. The only thing you have to do is remember your worth. You don't have to remember their worth. Well, it's nice to know that I get cut off sometime. It looks like I'm back, though. Anyway, so, young ones, if you could just remember, okay, think of it this way. If you have a grandparent that you just love, okay, just respect them. You respect them because you don't have to love them. You just need to respect them. And treat everybody's grandparents like that. Because let's face it, some old folks out there don't have grandchildren. They could use a smile. They could use a, hey, Mrs. Brown, nice to see you. And she's going to think in her head, you mean nice that I'm still alive? Yeah. Yeah. It might be true, but you don't have to say that part, though. Don't get smart because she'll think you're getting fresh. You're one of those fresh kids. Well, that's the words that they used back in my day. Okay. But anyway, sometimes all it takes is just a little smile to make arthritis not seem so bad. Or sometimes you just looking into a person's eyes and smiling. And then I notice you're not noticing my fat calves that look swollen like elephantitis. And then you feel bad and wish they were young again. I don't necessarily wish I were young again. I'm happy to be the Tasha that I am. And I'm so thankful that everything that I have and had and experienced is not as bad as others. I'm grateful for the skin that I'm in right now, you know. And I'm grateful that a lot of you young ones write to me and you feel comfortable with me and sharing your life with me. That brings me great joy alone. And yet sparks a lot of memories of when, I think I told you this in some other videos. I lived on a huge property. So up front was our 5-bedroom house, and then back was my Nana's house, and then behind that was her friend's studio. Okay, all on one piece of property, a huge, like 5-car garage way back there in the backyard. Okay, so Mrs. Edwards, I would see her on the bus a lot. And the thing that I loved about Mrs. Edwards is she always had candy. You know, I wasn't allowed to have candy because my mother was a nutritionist. I don't want you messing up your teeth. And she'd always say, don't tell your mom. She'd give me those Brock's caramels or the Brock's candy corn. Oh, and I still love both of those right now today. Still love them both. Yes, I do, you know, and I love her, bless her heart. Well, I'm sure she's in spirit now, but anyway, you know what I mean. And I never told my mother, of course, you know. Hi, honey, how are you? Nice to see you. Giving these young ones some education a little teeny bit here. Just my perspective. You know, and I thought, gosh, when I grow up, I'm going to do the same thing. When I become an old lady, I'm going to carry candy. And I'm going to tell some other kid, don't tell your mom I gave you that candy. Of course, a lot of children are spoiled rotten and they have whatever they want anyway. I mean, they're buying 9-year-olds iPhones. I'm sorry, I just don't get that. I don't get paying $600 for a phone. Some kid's going to break and then you just buy another one. I'll get it over it. I'll adjust. Anyway, so parents that are watching this, just give your kid a nice little education on being kind to elders, especially in this. If you're in where was it, Houston? They had the thing, and Florida that had the hurricane, typhoon, whatever thing. You know, we all got to stick together. Look out for them. If you haven't seen them in a few days, you call the police and say, I want to do a wellness check on Tasha Harris. She lives at 833 South Waterman Avenue in the back. And I haven't seen her in a few days. Just want to make sure she's okay. And the police, well, here in California anyway, will go and knock on the door. If they don't hear anything, they'll, you know, do something like call the landlord and say, give us the key, go open it. We want to make sure, you know, Tasha is okay. Yeah, they do that here. You know, so don't hurt to give anybody a little wellness check. They might hate you for coming into their house, but just trust me, they're going to love you for checking on them. And you say, yeah, Tasha, you know, I was just worried about you. I haven't seen you in a few days. I'm happy that it's only a cold and you're still with us, or something funny, you know. And then they'll be forever grateful and give you candy all the time. No, I'm kidding. Maybe not candy. Maybe her thing or his thing is baking bread. Maybe his thing is building birdhouses and he'll show you how to build one from scratch, not glued together, you know, something like that. But I'm just saying, young ones, you know, treat your elders well. And then, you know, what goes around comes around. And then when you're 65, 75, 85, you know you're going to get that back because you were good to somebody else's grandma or your own grandma, you know. So always remember, what goes around comes around. And I got to tell you, when I was growing up, I loved being around old people like me, you know. They told the best stories. And, you know, back then you never think to ask if it's true or not. You just loved being told a story. So now I have learned to be a great storyteller. Thank God. I got that from my grandma. And she could tell a story too. And I'm happy that I had a good grandmother and a good grandmother and a good mother, you know, that taught me don't be cruel to other people just because, you know, you want to have a party. You don't keep the party going until midnight. And you know Mrs. Brown goes to bed at 7 in the afternoon. That's rude and disrespectful. Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Oh, thank you. Yeah, every month I'm trying to have something done. I'm not trying to look young, just trying to look good. And I feel good. Thank you. Thank you. So, we all just got to try and just give a smile. You don't even have to really go too far out your way. Just give a smile. Hey, Mrs. Brown. Hey, Mr. Brown. Going to the store. Need anything? You know they ain't been out the house in 2 days because you see the newspapers are piling up on the yard. It wouldn't hurt to go knock on their door and say, "Oh, I thought maybe you couldn't get out to get your paper today." What would that hurt you, young ones? It wouldn't hurt nobody to do nothing like that. You need anything from the store? Here's your paper. And yeah, sure, they're crotchety because they don't like, get older, you don't like people touching your stuff. Excuse me. I know I don't. I don't want nobody touching my crystals. But you know what? If you found one on the ground, I'd appreciate you for bringing it back to me. Yes, I would. So, excuse me. It just never hurts to be kind. So, it never hurts to be kind. So, you get out of here, young ones, and just remember if you don't have a grandparent to be kind to, go adopt one. And tell them, I don't have a grandpa or grandma. So, I'm adopting you. What do you need? Get out of here, kid. No, I'm not going anywhere. Because I see you have a hard time walking to the store. So when I go to the store, I'm going to ask you if you need anything, Mr. Brown. Ah, go away, you bother me. And bring him a hoo-hoo, a yahoo, a piece of gum or something anyway. Okay, water. We'll stick to water. Everybody needs water. So hey, there you go, and there it be. And I'm going to get this finished and just know that I love you. Go be good to yourself. And I will see y'all online. I'm going to see you in a couple of hours as soon as I put this pendant up on Instagram. Okay, you guys. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.